Hi Stampers, it's Stampin' Texas, and I hope you had a great Christmas and that 2013 is off to a good start. I've got some fun cards to share with you today. First, this was my Christmas card I sent out, and when I saw it, it was done by Connie Stewart, and when I saw her do this card, I just knew I had to make a bunch of these for Christmas. Well, I guess I got a little ambitious because I ended up having lots of parts and pieces left over. So I was really kind of wondering what I'm going to do with them. Well, then the spring catalog came out, and there was a stamp set in here with this sentiment, and I just thought, you know, that would be perfect for those parts and pieces of this card that I already have cut and ready. So I just had to share it with you because I think it's so fun that you can be inspired by what somebody else does and uses a totally different stamp set, change it up, and then you've recreated and made a card that's no longer got a Christmas feel, but now this is kind of a spring and just a general friend card. So that's what we are going to work on today, and let me show you what you're going to need for this card. First of all, the card base is just a piece of very vanilla, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it in the middle. I have also used the Lacy Brocade embossing folder to create the embossed look here. And then to get it to have some color or design, I just took some crumb cake with my little sponge, and I just dabbed it and got some crumb cake on there. Did that, went around the edges like this. But that's all I did to add a little bit of the color and the dimension there with the crumb cake. The other two pieces that you're going to need, this particular piece, the larger, which is soft suede, it is cut to 4 1/4 by 2 3/4, and the very vanilla piece is 4 by 2 1/2. Now, out of one sheet of 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, you should be able to get 8 of each of these sizes. So that's a really nice way to conserve paper. You'll get 8 pieces for the front of the card. Now, a couple of things that I did differently. I don't know if you can see, but seeing that edge on this very vanilla piece, it kind of has a raggedly, ruffly edge. Let me show you what I used to achieve that. This is the Stampin' Distress tool. It looks like this. And I took it, and on my very vanilla piece, all you have to do is slide it on each of the sides. Let me kind of show you. See how it's got kind of a blade thing in between there. So I'm just going to rough up the edges. And you can do it as much or as little as you'd want. So that's basically what we're going to do, like that. Then, to really make the edges pop, I took the soft suede ink pad, and I'm going to, again, use the sponge dauber and just kind of go around my edges. And you can do it as much or as little as you'd like. The stamp set for the sentiment, I really love all the different sentiments in this stamp set. It's called Feel Goods, and this is from the new spring catalog that just came out. So you have to check that out. If you don't have a copy, you can view it online. Just go to my website, or I could even mail you one. So if you'll go to my website and email me, I'll be happy to send you one. So we're going to be using the friend quote, again using soft suede. And when I stamp that, I want to actually stamp it a little bit higher so that I'll leave room down at the bottom for my ribbon. So I'm going to go kind of to the upper part of that. That looks pretty good. Now for the flower. Now you'll notice I stamped it once on the paper, but then I stamped it a second time and cut out a flower. So let me move these aside for a moment while I get the flower. The flower is from the stamp set called Oh Hello. And again, that's also from the spring catalog. So what we're going to do is on the top part, it's going to be rose red, and on the leaves and the stem, I'm going to use wild wasabi. Now you can do this a couple ways. If you have a marker, that generally is the easiest because we'll just go over the top of it like this. But if you didn't have a marker and you just had the ink pad, you can always take your ink pad and just dab as well. So that's another way to do it. I don't think I got quite low enough, but that's okay because we can fill in with the marker. So either way you do it is fine. Let me bring it a little bit closer so you can see and I can see a little better. Like that. Now let's get our wild wasabi. And if you ever wonder if the ink on here dries out or anything, it usually stays wet for a good amount of time. But every once in a while you'll just, if you wonder, go ahead and huff on it. Like that. So I'm going to line that up. There we go. So there's our flower. Now all we're going to need to do is get our snail adhesive and our soft suede piece. And we're going to attach that. And then we're going to use the Primrose. I don't know if I even told you the name of our pink we were using. I hope I did. But it's Primrose. And we're going to use the Primrose ribbon as well. And I like to cut a piece that's going to wrap around the back side. And then we'll actually tie a second piece on to kind of create this bow. It's a faux bow. So this is going to just wrap to the back. Since I covered it with adhesive, it's good to go. Now we'll get our card base back in here. Put that right in the center. And again, we're going to take our second piece of ribbon, and I usually leave it attached so then that way you don't waste ribbon. You know exactly how much to use. Just going to tie a little knot like that. Just trim it down. And there you go. The last thing that you'll need to do if you choose to is to stamp one more of the flower on some scratch paper, cut it out, and put it on top with a dimensional. But either way, it looks really cute. So there's a quick and easy card that you can use, and it's a great card design because it uses the exact same pieces, but it creates a totally different looking card. Thanks so much for watching, and happy stamping!